Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the keeper of the light sounds the fog bell to signal that it is indeed time for football inside Gillette Stadium. But today, two AFC teams set to do battle. It should be a good one, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the New England Patriots. To get this one started, and we are underway in Foxborough. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on fourth down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Stevenson gets it again on second down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Stevenson. And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46. That good for 19 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Douglas, the man in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Getting to the ball that time was Jeremy Chin.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
He finds Douglas complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. To throw, it's May. And this is going to be incomplete.
Coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Back deep for the Raiders is Trey Tucker. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Looking to put a drive together. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. Tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point. Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and pick it up by running option to the right. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. Then his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. To the air, May. Checking this down to Stevenson. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2nd and a couple. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back to Stevenson on 1st down. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. Now he's loose down the left sideline. That he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Patriots, nothing. touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Patriot offense back out, getting set to go. It's their third drive now, and so far we've seen a punt. In that second drive, CD, they turned the ball over, so not the start that they were envisioning.
Yeah, they've been ineffective so far, but look, they've worked on a game plan all week long. Don't get away from it too soon. Find a way to get some significant gains, loosen up, get going, and then they should be okay the rest of the way.
Looking to put a drive together. It's Stevenson with a run to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Here's May. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was third down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to first down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a first down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
On the draw, it's Gibson. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's a 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Stevenson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Antonio Gibson, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it concluded with the touchdown pass to Antonio Gibson. So we'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Gino. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Christian Barmore getting in there to drop him. Certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Back deep for New England is Marcus Jones. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Patriots take over. New England trying to get a place on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Well, starting with the option. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
They'll decide to keep this once more, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
From the gun on 3rd down is May. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
Here's Bryce Berringer now.
Formation for the Patriots.
Pulled in at the 24. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Gino now to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
That went out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Robert Spillane. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Okay, partner, defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
New England's offense set to go. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 71 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
I don't care what the game plan was coming in. After these runs,
you're running it, right?
you make sure you keep circling on your play sheet, running plays that are working, and keep patting those big offensive linemen on the back. They're doing a great job.
Goes without saying the defense is going to have to adjust to it.
In a big way, and they've got to figure out, do they have to sell out to stop the run, or can they just do it better than what they've done so far?
12 more yards there and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Douglas, the man in motion. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. These two teams all tied after 1. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. 2nd and goal from the 1. As they've got it as we resume action. Gibson. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier. Was bidding for a 2nd. About a half yard from the end zone. 3rd and goal. Now May on the sneak. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Patriots have taken the lead.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
The extra point now for Borregales. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. That'll give him 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Gino going to hand it to Genty. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, wide open, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Trey Tucker, 70 yards. And the Raiders are an extra point away from drawing level. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Carlson on for the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Patriots offense and Ramondre Stevenson getting set for this next drive. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. First down as they begin the drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. This is 2nd and 8. They'll throw with May. And Diggs has it. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They run once more with Stevenson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 7. the toss here with Stevenson. Gets past one man. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the momentum just continuing to build and build for them. They had the touchdown, their last drive to tie the game. Now their defense does its job, and Charles, all of a sudden, they've got a chance to capture the lead here.
And we're seeing a really nice exhibition of what coaches love to call complementary football. Offense gets a tie, defense does its job, gets the ball right back, and their teammates now have momentum. What a nice job they're doing, all doing it together.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
On the draw, here's Genty. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On first down, it's Genty. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
They'll go again with Genty. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right out and right up the middle.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. New England trying to get a place on offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. put a drive together. Looking to throw. May. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 99 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third down, here's Stevenson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down.
Patriots, first down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on first and 10. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
The tackle made by Landon Roberts.
At the 35-yard line.
Now it's second and 10. Throwing here is May. Over the middle, complete. That's Henry. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now second and 5. Running left is Stevenson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the shotgun, May with it. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On fourth down, out comes Andres Borregales for the Patriot field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead.
All right, let's give the kicker some credit here because he didn't let the inaccurate snap phase him whatsoever. Trusted his holder to get the ball down in time, stuck to his routine, and somehow found a way to put the ball through the uprights.
point field goal. Back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cooper, the man in motion left. Smith now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cooper. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
36-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's a 2nd and 5. A run out of the gun with Genty. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Third and 3. Now Gino. That is caught. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Now Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's got this down to the 35. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will tie things at 17 all. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. 1 second, all that remains. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. Oh, and that is incomplete. So we are deadlocked at the break here, and the EA Sports Halftime Report starts now. Here's Scott Hansen.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. Scott Hansen back with you in the studios in Orlando. We've got a close one, as we expected. No quarter given on either side. We are all tied up at the break. This one could go either way, so let's find out as they're ready for the third quarter kickoff. Send it back out to the stadium and our commentary team. Brandon Godden, and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you. The rain, maybe not quite as heavy as it was earlier, but still coming down pretty good as we prepare for the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really in all facets. This ball game tied, Charles, so as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
They'll start on the ground with Genty. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Throwing is Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down. A gain of 15. First down, Las Vegas.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Right back to Genty on first down. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Once again, it's Genty. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the football as they've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Genty is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. On the option, it's Smith himself. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Geno Smith scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Raiders have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. That time a 9-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now an option play on second down. Breaks through the contact. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. Oh, nice move. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 3. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up the first down with some nice running.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Stevenson gets it again on second down. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
On now is Andres Borregales to try the field goal. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is indeed good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Smith. That's caught by Tucker. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has to get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
3rd and 4. Here's Smith. Open man, that's Cooper. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Las Vegas first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 43-yard line.
After the run, Smith going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Tucker. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
10 yards. And it's 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Genty. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back, not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Off of play action, here's Smith. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. So no gain on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone, but sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line. The Patriots offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. Second and 5. They'll fake it on a jet sweep, but instead a handoff up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for Patriots. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. To throw, it's May. Quick hitch, complete. It's Douglas. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one covered first down.
And the Patriots.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
At the Raiders' 22-yard line.
2nd down and 4. To the air, May. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Here's Stevenson. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
At the 5-yard line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, Stevenson. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Gibson is into the end zone. Touchdown, New England.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Looking to put a drive together. The drive will begin with a run by Genty. And the defense closes quickly there. And he'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 8. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And his throw here is incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Throwing now is Gino. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 33. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Gino going to hand it to Genty. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
2nd down and 6 now. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. On this one, he may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? A run straight ahead with Genty. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now out come the Patriots. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. Looking to put a drive together. off the play fake. Here's May. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's May. Short pass caught by Henry. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
And the Patriots, first down.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On first down, right back to Gibson. And he's able to break out a run tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
And they run the option on 2nd down. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
It's a gain of 8. That's good for Patriots. First down. 1st and 10.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 and 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6 coming up. They'll throw with May. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
33-yard line.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Play action. May. He'll dump this down to Stevenson. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll come up now. 2nd and 9. Throwing here is May. He finds Douglas complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the gun, it's May. And that is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes the right read seemingly every time. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
At the 37-yard line.
Here's 2nd down. Up the middle, it's Genty. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Close to field goal range now. Get up, get set, spike it.
First down. It's a gain of 17 yards. First down.
Now this offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
Geno Smith. 54 yards. That's another Raiders first down. A gain of 15. First down.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And then on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting into midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.